Alrighty, welcome to another financial breakdown of the latest PSA submission. It was actually a blind reveal. If you've not checked out the video, go check it out. It's a couple videos back if you want to see my facial expressions. And there was a few cards in this order that were kind of some eye-openers. So let's get into it. If you're unfamiliar with what you're looking on the screen, I have basically everything broken down as far as the card, when I purchased them. I'll kind of highlight this so you can see a little bit better where I purchased them, what my pre-grade was, what actually PSA said the grade was, overall grading costs, raw purchase price for each, I was about to say vehicle card, we're not purchasing vehicles today, current grading value, that's approximate of comps and looking other likeness type of players. If it's a hard, low pop type of card, I can get into specifics of that during the video. Obviously, estimated profit, return on investment, pop counts, and what I'm doing with each card. First up, the 1983 Marcus Allen rookie card. Purchased this with a numerous, actually just the first two. I thought it was going to be a few more, but a lot of card show pickups actually in this submission. So I had it pre-graded an 8. I either overlooked, there was a little, like not a fingernail, but kind of like a bend. Like maybe someone, I don't know if PSA, I don't know if PSA damaged this. I'm not going to get into it. It's a low value card either way, as I wasn't going to send it back. But I need to kind of start checking these, reviewing my cards. I feel like I didn't overlook it, but I certainly may have. We're all guilty of that. But they deemed it a 6 because of that, and I bought that for a couple bucks. Currently, I've seen some sold around $18 for a PSA 6, which is kind of astonishing. So yeah, big pop count on that. It's a big common card. Those are kind of common cards that are kind of like fillers, and you never know really. You can have an idea maybe where the grade's going to go, especially these 80s cards. They're very sensitive with chipping on the edges. The card stocks, not the greatest to quality of modern present day type of sets being produced. Here's the biggie of the order. The 1989 error card with the writing. Man, I picked this up in a lot at the card show in Post Falls. I'm going to say it's around a $30 what I paid. I think I paid like 50 some dollars for about, I don't know, it was like 5 to 10 cards, and this was in there. I had it pre-graded an 8 to 9. This card has a lot of chipping on the back, on the top, all edges. It's very common, so you always have to watch out for that. And I thought the centering was 9 to 10 range for sure. And then there was a little kind of I don't have the card on the screen here, but you can see it. There was on the top left, kind of like a little wave or indentation on the edge. It wasn't exactly straight to my eyes, and maybe some of the other areas, I believe, if I can remember, that were a little funny too. But wow, that thing hit a 10, and look at where the value, they hover around $500. This was a $300 max declared limit, so they didn't upcharge me at all. I know once they start upcharging, it's pretty extreme. Kind of maybe if that hit towards like the $700 mark or something, you'd probably be getting an upcharge. But yeah, thankful to have that in a 10. That went straight to the PC. I will be keeping that one. I love it when you grade cards like that and they turn out. That's probably one of the better grading cards to date for me. As far as look at this return on investment, 994%. That is insane. Look at how many 10s there are. I was shocked how many 10s. I mean, it is an 80s card, mass produced, so it makes sense, and it's a very common hobby card to have. You see it everywhere now with Tops this year as well. So reprinting it, I guess, or for the image. So yeah, PC on that. As you can see, when you see this return on investment or profit, it's taking out what I paid plus the grading costs. So that's kind of how you see that math equated there. Another couple surprises here. Had this pre-graded a 7. Thankfully, it hit the 9, so this went straight to the PC. Kind of be probably working on a Tiffany set for Will Clark, he's a PC player of mine. So during his playing years, so that went straight to the PC. Not a big high value card, and a 9. just because they're mass produced and it's well after his rookie years. So, but it's kind of an iconic card. Many have seen this card, or this image, I should say, maybe in a sense. I mean, a lot of 91 cards have been seen nowadays. But yeah, I mean, nothing. I was thankful to get the 9. If I had the 7, it was kind of like a filler card. I'm not really sure why I sent that in. It was kind of I didn't really maybe look up comps, but I had it in my hands, and I was like, well, I'm just going to throw this in, see what it gets, and thankfully I did. Next up, same card, just in the Desert Shield version. Paid $47 for that. I've seen comps go around the 200 mark. This might be a little high in that range. Actually, they fluctuate everywhere, depending on, obviously, supply, demand. If there's higher demand than the supply out there, then people are going to pay premium on the time. If there's only one listed for 3 months and you have a bunch of potential buyers within that 3-month period, someone's going to eventually be wanting to pay a little bit extra just to get it in their hand. That's just how it works out, thankfully, for us graded sellers. But decent pop count on this card. So very, very good on the return investment on that one. Very happy to have that in the PC. Be eyeballing a 10. I think the 10s are around the $800 mark, I want to say, if I remember correctly. So maybe someday I'll start. I mean, I'll always, I have a safe search for them, so I'll always be picking them up if I feel like they're worthy to purchase and send in, and if they grade right after review. Next up, card show pickup, Garrison Hearst. This is a rookie year, obviously. It's the only, actually, yeah, there's one graded 10. So that 10, I am sure, went to a collector. This was one that sold, so everything that you see sold already. I did sell it for the $30 mark, so made a baby profit. And I did forget to mention, everything you see in yellow is about around breaking even. Everything green, obviously, is kind of a little bit expanded on the profit. So if it's around $10 I made, I'm still kind of keeping around breaking even, obviously. Next card here, Shannon Sharp. This is the refractor of the 96 set. So any early Topps Chrome years, you can't go wrong as long as the condition is right for a prominent player. There's a collector's market for those early Topps Chrome refractors. Same with Finest, things like that. Of, again, Hall of Famers, big time players. Picked it up pretty pricey for $34. I have it around that $50 mark. This might be a slow seller. Obviously, I don't want to come down too much off that, because if I'm hitting 50, I'm already losing money. So probably overpaid on that a little bit. That's kind of one where you just live and learn. And that's kind of the story of grading, especially when you're picking up such a variety of cards and sets. But you start to learn a little bit better on past experience. This was a goodie. Had this hitting a 9, came back with a 10, picked it up out the door. And also, I forgot to mention, these raw purchase prices. This is with shipping, tax included, plus the card. So when you see like an even dollar amount, obviously that's going to be card show pickup. You don't have any of those other expenses, but eBay purchases, that's everything that I had to pay to get that card in my hand. I have it sitting around a $300 card. Low pop on this card. Lots of color. There's a market, I would say, but it's going to probably be a slow market maybe. It might be a slow seller. Regardless, I'll be getting profit on this card depending on what I end up taking, depending on how long I want to hold it for, and what price seems good for me. Good return on investment on that card. Just like the one below it here, the Brian Urlacher Black Refractor. Again, another low pop of 5. These are very difficult. I had it pre-graded at, a 9. I had it on the border of 9 to 10, but probably favoring the 9 side. I think it might have been just due to centering or maybe something else that I've seen on this card. But thankfully, it hit and popped the 10 there. I have it valued as an estimate around 150. Might be a little high again, too. Again, another card that you'll be most likely making profit on. Regardless, that would be estimated if I was to sell it at the 150 mark. Adam Jones. The rest of these cards are a little bit kind of like we're throwing in. I think kind of the main bulk of the submission was up there at the top. There might be a few others, but it's a rookie card. It's a prominent name, Adam Pac-Man Jones. If I can get the $40, this is another card that you really need to hit tens on. And it's a DB cornerback. You're not going to be getting some high market value. It's just the way, obviously, the football world goes. Defensive players are kind of on the back burner, depending on obviously the player, but overall, in a sense, it goes quarterbacks and on down from there. But if you have a big player, like Urlacher, big time Hall of Fame defensive players, they still do very well. I'm not saying he's Hall of Famer, I'm just saying there's a name for him. That's what I like to pick up. So obviously with the Pac-Man Jones, you'll never forget that name, especially if you're watching during that time. All right, Emmanuel Sanders, another kind of throw-in. It was an auto rookie card. Steelers have a big, huge following. There's a good market for Steelers fans and collectors. That's what I try to also stay towards, markets where there's a larger market for each team compared to smaller market teams. You're not going to have that many collectors or newer teams type thing. Anything that has rich history, any team that has rich history, you really can't go wrong because you're going to have that many more eyes and numbers looking at your cards. Or, elsewhere there's just still a collector's market for prominent players, but kind of has a name for him since, and hit a 9. So yeah, if I get 55, I might be lucky, and that might be a little high, but we'll be possibly breaking around even type here in a sense. Already sold this card. I think this is the next one that's already sold. Might have priced it too low, but the fact that this card was jersey number on the back, red refractor, low print out of 25. His jersey number 10 out of 25. 2008 was his rookie, so third year in a sense here, but bigger name during the time, and thankfully hit the 9 of the 2 pre-grades, so took a profit of only about $10 on that card, but at least it's out the door. You want to move stuff. I don't mind holding on to product a little bit longer, but eventually I'll try to just either bid it off with auctions or just start taking some serious offers, some discounted offers, I suppose. Antonio Cromartie, gold refractor, number out of 50. Still, I've got some interest on this card, but nothing. Kind of want to hold at the mid-20s there just to get some money back. But again, you want to turn and burn. Another kind of card that I probably shouldn't be holding on too long and just kind of take my loss there. Adrian Peterson, I think I had 2 of these, and the other one is coming back from PSA. This was the lesser of the 2 that I thought was in condition-wise. The other one I think was in a little bit better. It did hit what I pre-graded it for. It wasn't a high-value card. And, yeah, I sold this one. I forgot it. For just a small little profit of $3. Obviously, fees and everything will bring that down into the negative. This card, oh, lordy. I've already sent this back to PSA. There's a big chunk of plastic in it for whatever reason. Whatever encapsulation process, they had some issue or error where a chunk of the plastic that they encapsulate their cards in was sitting inside the encapsulated card or case, slab, whatever acronym you want to say. This one I feel like would have probably already sold by now, but obviously I don't have it in hand, so I can't sell it. They go around the $50 mark. I felt pretty confident that this was going to hit a 10. It did. So that's kind of a common card that you can probably make some decent money off if you just found a whole bunch in good condition. That's kind of like a learning aspect there. If I go, search for Keenan Allen's right now, especially getting a new team and everything, there'll be a market buzz. It's kind of a reason why I also picked him up. Can't go wrong with this name, Tom Brady. Unfortunately, I felt pretty confident on this. It hit the 9. It's not obviously a big card, but the 10 would have helped. These have sold. It's kind of just a slow seller, kind of holding out just to get my money back type thing on this card. Legion of Boom type of card. Pretty big market just because you don't really see this in modern to ultra modern where there's a group of players. I mean, there are team cards, I would say in a sense, but this was actually kind of just a secondary on the defense type of, which is a little bit more rare, I would say. And paid $30 for this, and I have sold this. I sold it for $133. So I had another one, and I didn't see this gemming. As you can see, there was, I think it got overlooked by PSA, whatever the case be. There was kind of like a fingernail imprint or some kind of indent on the back. They both had them. So I don't know if it was a common flaw for the print of that card. Just maybe during the factory, there was spitting out that issue. Maybe PSA knows about it and I don't, type thing, or maybe I'm suspecting something like that. So not quite sure how that played out, but thankfully it gemmed and there was a decent profit on that one. Still holding on to this one, trying to get my highest value out of it. Have it around the $90 mark. Bought it for $30. Regardless, I mean, even if I dropped out down to $70, I'll still be making some profit. Solid return on investment if that goes in that range. Again, you can't go wrong with prominent quarterback. Even well after their careers been established, there's still value for collectors. This card, I think, was the one card where I did not see it getting anything other than a gem. This thing was so freaking clean. I do not know and understand why, and maybe it was centering, like I said, during the reveal. I kind of found maybe down on the bottom here. I can't see the card, so I'm just kind of like moving my mouse right now. Imagine when I put the cards up here on the screen. It might have been centering, but maybe I overlooked something again too. So this kind of like a break-even card, nothing big. There's only one of them. Diamond Refractors at a 60. You don't see them too often. At least I haven't when I've been searching, but I've kind of been paying attention to them a little bit more. So they kind of have a nice eye appeal to them. Although 2015 Finest is not a good set design, I think, in many eyes. The Optic Hollow of Tom Brady on the 2017 had hitting an 8 or 9. Interesting. I guess after a review. But it's still gemmed. So I have sold this card for $62. That was $62 in his jersey number, number 12. So look at all that pop count right there. Tom Brady just gets submitted. It's just a matter of finding his cards for cheap, something that has eye appeal, and getting a good grade on it. It's like you really can't go wrong, but you're playing that juggling game with him on that whole aspect. And the last card gets you all out of here. The Panini Optics Signature Series of Jamal Anderson, $5 card. I'll be lucky to get 40, but still, I will most likely get my money back regardless of depending on how low I want to sell this card for. But all in all, very good. I mean, the total, all in total, with grading, raw purchase was $759. Here's kind of the estimated value total, approximate net profit. So this is one of my better submissions, I feel like, when you see net profit up into the thousands on a 20 card order. Obviously, I would not retain all of that because several of those bigger chunks of that value are coming into the PC. So, but very good average return on investment. I mean, you can't go wrong. Anything in like the 30 percentile range is very good. So yeah, I mean, we went 50 and 50 on these as far as breaking even and making profit there. And this everything else you see on here is just kind of breakdown when I found the comps. This is when I shipped the order out, how much I paid for it. This basically me breaking it down even specific to expenses versus PC items on tracking purposes. So this document, the spreadsheet, it is in the description down below if you want to use it. It's free of charge right now. I have it in there. You're more than welcome to play around with it. I kind of need to get a video going to how to use it, but it's for 25 cards, and if you don't have 25 cards, just delete the nonsense that you see over here, and then it'll start working for you. Some of the stuff you have to hit in manually, but most of it is formula set up to automatically track what you're putting in there. So as always, thank you for watching. Hopefully this was entertaining enough to break down some numbers for y'all. Some of you like this, some of you don't. Maybe it's a little too boring, but for us nerds, I guess, spreadsheet warriors, it's a little bit more entertaining. I kind of like it. Keep it track of what I'm getting back. It's educational, I think, for myself and others. So as always, thank you for watching, and you all take care.